So before we do anything, we do as usual, which is just giving hands and our feet a little wake up. And you can move through your toes and your feet and your hands any way you like. And remember, if you're moving your head, not just throw it around, it's just nice and comfortable. Let your shoulders. What you'll find is as you're moving, you'll feel like, oh, my shoulders need to go now, so my knees need to go. And that's what I want you just spend a bit of time. Oh, just like you got up in the morning and you had a desperate stretch just to get you going in life. Nice and we're going to take yourself to the middle of the mat or the middle of your comfort area where you put yourself. And we're going to just put our hands on our hips, and I just want you to roll your head, but not throwing it in, very gentle, no tension on shoulders as you do it. Just a few times in one direction, a few times in the other direction. So we're just waking up the back of the neck, stimulating all the endings to the brain, which is what. So let's take some nice breaths in and get some air into the lungs, get blood to the head. So we're going to take a big deep breath and just bend your knees and lift up nice and high. Hold the breath. And then we're just going to fall. Inhale back up. Nice big stretch. Let that stretch start to have more hands behind the head, then let the breath go. Remember to be holding the breath at the top. Inhale, retaining it. Retain just a little bit longer and down. And again. Hold and down. And we've got one more. Inhale up. Going to go down, we're going to stay down, let it come down. Let the hands drop, knees are slightly bent. Let your bottom have a little bit of a wiggle, let your knees have a little bit of a move. Just allowing a little bit of warmth through the back of these and start to straighten the backs of the knees, but we're not putting too much pressure on the ability to do that. So even if you need to lean on something, put your hands on your knees, whichever feels comfortable. Just warming through the back of the legs, and head's nice and low, so let that head fall. You're going to feel the spine open up and the neck open up. Then we're going to sit the bum right down. So now we're warming up the knees, and then we're going to shoot back up. Exhale, open up the chest. Nice slow breath. Inhale, let's come back up. And exhale, back down. And then start to move through those knees again, straightening the backs of the legs again, start to warm the backs of the legs up. Head's nice and loose. If you need to lift it because you feel the pressure's too much through your head, that's fine, because we're just working on the legs and just getting that blood moving towards the head. And then we're just going to drop that bum down. Take your hands up, breathe in, come up. Exhale, bring your hands down to the side. And then take your feet to straddle your mat. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what's happening, but you don't have to. Take your hands back up, big deep breath. Then stretch at the top so you can start to feel that stretch down the body. And just let the breath go. And warm the hips up by just letting them move from side to side. And start to have a little reach with the hands. So you can feel them as you lean on one side, you can feel the stretch on the other. So you're having a nice movement all the way down the spine, letting the muscles move. Let the hands rotate and move. Just let's have a stretch. Big deep breath in. Let's hold and reach back slightly. We're going to bend the knees and come through this time. And back up. And back down. Warming the inside of the legs, back up. Back down. Inhale, back up. And exhale, coming down, staying down, and same principle. Put your hands on the ground, and we're just going to start to straighten through the knees. So you're bending the knees, straighten the leg. I know what you can see is you can feel that if one hip will be higher, you'll feel the stretch through the back, and you'll feel that the lower back being engaged as well. That's what we want. Obviously, be careful. Still just warming the body up. And then we're going to take ourselves low, but we're going to squat quite low. So we're not going to go all the way down. We're using the hands for support. You're going to feel quite a lot of compression here, and the knees are going to be working. So if you need to be up high because it's too much, stay up high. Now lift your hands up nice and tall. Exhale, open up. And we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, come down. Start to straighten the legs on both sides. So let's do 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 4. Come into a nice low squat position. Lift your hands up so you're able to use all of your hips and your knees to push through your feet. Come up. Squeeze your bum at the top where you pull your weight once those in. Let's have, with the squeeze, let's have a little bit of a move so we can feel that opening through the front of the body. And then let's just have a nice, and back to neutral with the spine, just let the hips have a move. And let's have a circle through the hips. So we're waking up the digestive system. And we're waking up the lungs. Now just take your feet wider. We're not trying to do the splits, but I do want them fairly wide. You're going to take the hands out, and I want you to really make a big star. Draw the hands and shoulders and elbows slightly behind. Really open the chest, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Take the chin up towards the ceiling. Big deep breath in. And then exhale, we're just going to bend the knees and drop down. And we're going to move from side to side. We're feeling the stretch move from the inside of the legs. The knees are getting nice and warm. We're even, because the hands are stationary, we're even warming up the shoulders a little as we go. So let's do a few more just to warm through, and then we're going to hold. So we're going to come down onto one side and hold. Head's nice and loose. Let's not put too much pressure through the hips to start with. Breathe in. And then exhale, let's come over to the other side and hold. We're going to inhale, come to the other side. If you feel you can, you're going to reach your hands up. Knees now working, so be careful. Big deep breath in. Exhale, back down. Walk all the way over to the other side. Sinking through the knee. Inhale and up. Exhale, back down. Walk all the way over to the other side. Place yourself down, lift yourself up. Push through the legs so it's straight. And come down onto the other side. Place your hands down. Let your head fall. Now, lifting back up, breathing in, hold. Push through that knee and back down. And again, lift up the arms first, knees still bent. Push through and down. And last time, breathing in, lifting up the hands. Push through that knee and just drop the hands down. Let your hips have some movement. And we're going to change that slightly. So we're going to change, put one foot at a right angle to the other. Doesn't necessarily have to be in line with the heel necessarily. We just say we've got a nice comfortable position. We feel very stable in the position. We're going to lean in and lean back out. We're going to do that 3 times. And then we're going to turn the foot and we're going to go on to the other side. So let's do it again. Nice and relaxed, because we're just warming the body up. We're just waking from the morning, trying to get some freshness with your hips and movement. We're going to take the hands up. We're going to place them onto our back, so the tops of the bottom of our hands on the tops of our bottom, and the thumbs and fingers supporting the tummy, side of the body, the thumbs supporting the spine. We're going to lean and open up the chest. So we're going to open up here by drawing shoulder blades together. So imagine there's a piece of fruit, like an orange or an apple, in between your shoulder blades. You're drawing down away from your ears, and you're going to chin up. Nice opening. And when we breathe, we're really going to expand through that chest. Take a nice big deep breath in. That all going. The breath go. And again. And then we're going to exhale, open up the seat area. You're going to engage your core, so to pull your tummy muscles in, and you're going to feel that stretch move down the back of the legs. You've got your hands to support. Head's nice and loose now. Shoulders are engaged there a little bit. And I just want you to rock backwards and forwards over the weight over the back and and the heel towards the toe. So it's really subtle, but you're going to feel that your tummy muscles are very much having to be engaged. You're going to feel your ankles working, the insides of your legs and your glutes. So it's quite a big move, but we're hardly doing anything. So keep that motion going. Think about your balance, keep your core engaged, head's nice and soft, nice long back, reaching your head out of from your hips. Okay, we're going to inhale, come back up. Exhale, reach up at the hips, have a sway from side to side. Turn your foot at that right angle, and you're going to lean and come into warrior. Now, obviously, I'm going to move so you can see you can even go sideways on the mat. In fact, if you want to turn sideways, you can. I'm going to sink down into a very loose warrior one. It'll work a bit better for us. And then we're going to push up nice and high, put your hands back onto your hips, feet nice and spread. We're going to lean forward, let's open up that seat area. Now if you think the neck's under too much pressure, just let it go. If you can, we're going to engage the core so the pressure's off the neck and not so much in the lower back. Pulling the tongues in, just come backwards and forwards. Draw your shoulder blades back. Very subtly warming up the back of the knees here. It's quite a big move, try not to bend the knees if you can help it. And then inhale, come back up. Take the hands up, and as we exhale, we're just going to go into a very loose warrior one. Head's nice and soft. And then inhale, back up, hands back onto your waist. Take yourself down, take your head all the way down. Take a breath, retain the breath, lift your head back up. Lift your hands over your head, big deep breath in. Retain the breath, put the hands on, keep the breath being retained, and then as you get halfway, as you fall forward, let the breath go. Inhale, lift the body up. Retain the breath, have a reach. Hands are going to come back down, and then we exhale all the way. One more time. Inhale, come up. Reach up nice and tall. Exhale, back down. Let your hands slide down your legs, and if you can touch the ground with them, that's great, but if not, just hold onto your ankles. It's wherever you feel comfortable. Let the head fall forward. Unless you feel like the blood pressure is too much, just lift it up. And we're going to put the weight, keep the knees very straight, but take the weight from side to side, so you're swaying your hips from side to side, so you're going to feel that movement through the hip, through the side of the leg, through the back of the knee, and through the glutes. So interesting things coming up. So that nod your body moving for a moment. Now turn your feet out to the corners of your mat, come down into a nice low squat, put your hands on your knees, and then tilt your tailbone forward so you're opening up your knees so you sit down. Push up, breathe in, come down, and take your bum out behind you and come back down and straighten your legs. Can you see what we did there? So keep your legs at an angle. We're going to inhale and drop down. Retain the breath. Exhale and come up. Up. In the last of the breath, we're going to come up. Breathe in. Then we're going to exhale, come down. Lean forward. Drop the weight forward and straighten your legs. We'll do that one more time so you can feel we're working through the different angles of the joints. Inhale, lower your knee, lower your bum to your knees. Retain your breath, come forward, and then exhale, straighten up. Breathe in. Retain the breath, coming down. Take your bum out, drop this down, and then exhale, straighten the legs. Let's see if we can do the whole thing in 2 breath movements. So going up as we breathe in and retaining and coming down the same way. So let's do that again. So we're going to inhale, bend. Retain, reach up. And then exhale. Straighten your legs. In that breath before we move, and do that one more time. Try to keep that long breath because this is really testing your lungs now. Inhale, come up. Push the tailbone forward, reach up. Last time, exhale. Drop yourself down. Turn your feet back to parallel and just take your weight from side to side a little bit wider than we had before. So now we're doing similar to what we did earlier on, but we're just waking up the legs, moving yourself from side to side. That's quite nice. We're going to take the weight over to one side, so sink on one side, push through that, so you can see a bit of a routine building come up. Push through, turn your front foot and down into your warrior one. Have a movement through the shoulders here. Warming those shoulders, lovely feeling. You're going to test your balance, you're going to feel it all the way down your legs and your knees, but then reaching out your body. Breathe in. Turn your foot, come back down. I'm going to take it from side to side again. Side to side. Take it to the other side. Inhale, coming up. If you can resist straightening your leg, you're going to turn with your knee bent and sink into warrior one on the other side. Well done. Let's move the shoulders. Open up the body. Let it get a little bit bigger. Really test your balance. Let it sway. Fall into that knee a bit more if you can hold it there. It's lovely to just keep moving. Breathe in. Turn your front foot, come back down. Walk your hands to the center. Straighten your legs. Inhale, bend your knees, come up nice and high. Exhale. Back down. Straighten your legs. We're going to do something slightly differently. So we're going to walk, keep your legs nice and straight. We're just going to walk both hands around to one straight leg, turn it to right angle. Now, what you might find is you can't actually reach the floor with straight legs. So if you can put your hands on your legs or above your thigh, or even if you've got blocks to hold yourself here, it's just so we can increase that stretch. And then we're going to go all the way around to the other side. So it's just a loose thing. So if it's too much, don't do it. Find a place which helps you, even if you just want to hold on. It's quite intense on the side of your legs, so just be careful. Bend onto one side, take your hands straight up. Turn your front foot into your warrior one. Challenging yourself, come onto your toe. See if you can drop yourself down. Quite a challenge this time in the morning, but well done. Big deep breath in. Place your heel back down. Straighten your legs, put your hands on your waist. Lean forward. Keep the leg at the front and the back straight, leaning in towards that knee. If you feel you can, you can put your hand above on your thigh or down on your calf, but never on your knee. You don't want to block the knee. If you can come all the way down, that's lovely, but don't if you can't. That's nice. Stretch through that knee. I'm actually letting my body weight sway from side to side across the mat because I find that helpful and comfortable. You don't have to, but if you find yourself swaying, you can keep the balance going. Do it. What we're going to do is we're going to crack that front knee, bring it down, and drop your knee down. And you'll notice that I make things look really slow. That's because I'm very agile, because I'm in control of how I'm moving my body, and that's what it's about, finding control. Don't just I need to get into that pose. It's how you transition is everything. We're going to inhale, take the hands up, open up. Inhale, come back up. Open up. Inhale, back up. Open up. Bring yourself back down. Turn back into your warrior one. Come up nice and tall. Let your hips move. Take your hands onto your back. Lift your chin up. Take your weight up behind you. Let's come all the way back down. Bend your knees into a low crouch position. Inhale, put your hands on your knees. Inhale, come up. Take up. So we see how we're working through the ankles. Exhale, back down. Rolling through the hips and back down. Take your weight to the other side. So now we're going to work on the other side. So we're in a nice low position. And then we're going to inhale and come up. Exhale, keep that back at the right hand at the back. I'm going to sink ourselves down. If you feel you've got the ability, you're going to come onto your tail and lower yourselves down. Now, you can't really see this, but my tummy's trying to be engaged. I'm trying to get my tailbone up. I'm not arching as much as I can, so trying to keep ourselves up nice and high. Big deep breath in. Place that heel back down. Hands onto your waist. If you feel your stance is too wide for this, just walk your foot in, there's no problem. Draw your shoulders back, take your head up, arch your back this time. Take your tailbone out behind you. We're going to come forward. And we're going to keep the hands on the waist. Top of the legs, ankles all the way down. And feel that stretch. Pull your tummy muscles in, make sure they're engaged. And the same for me, I can say I quite like to be able to rock backwards and forwards because I feel that stretch and moving. So I'm very in control of my body, so I know what I can and can't do and what my balance is doing. So it's for you guys, just if you want to put your hands down, you can do. It's just feeling that motion, because some people this is going to be way too much for them, especially at the back of the knees. And then we're going to crack that knee, turn and place your back foot down. And then we're going to inhale and take the hands up. Retain the breath and open. And exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale. Come back down with the hands. Lift your back foot up, take it to the right angle. And we're going to come up nice and high, straighten the legs. Hands back onto your waist. Your weight forward. Let everything drop down, let your weight drop down there. Now this is where we're going to add something in that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but we're going to take the hands behind the back and see if we can rest them together. Let's just the fingers together. If you can, you're going to pull them away so you won't break your shoulders. If you want to go one step further, we're actually going to try and bring the hands there to come towards the ground over the head. Now this is quite intense on the shoulders, so just be careful. You've got different options. Another option, if you feel this is uncomfortable, is you can actually take the hands apart, keep the triceps engaged while you're reaching back as far as you can over your head. So you've got different options to choose from. It depends how comfortable you feel in all of these moves. If you feel you can rock, like I know your balance is going to be slightly skewy and you're going to feel a bit uncomfortable, but if you can rock through your weight on your toes, you're not going to lift anything, but just take the weight backwards and forwards. That's also acceptable. Get a really deep stretch on the back of your knees, really waking up those legs today. Now, drop your hands back towards your bum. Place your hands on your hips. Lift your head up and come up. Oh, that feels nice. Let your hips move from side to side. Just take a moment to make sure the yellow dots aren't spinning around into your eyes. So slightly different from what we normally do. So we're really giving the down part of the body some action. And we are going to be moving through the shoulders in a second as well. We're just about to add something in which is probably going to be harder for people. That's fine. So we're going to inhale, take your chin up. Exhale, come down into your horse. Take your bum out, straighten your legs, feet at a right angle. Drop your weight down onto one side like we did before, so take it across. You're going to lift your hands up nice and high and turn into your warrior one. Think about how slowly or how precise you are as you're moving through. Reaching up, big deep breath in, take your hands behind your back, palms turn them so your palms are going to face each other and then turn towards the ceiling. Draw them down away from you and you're just going to push up as much as you can, engage the back of the triceps. You're going to feel the back muscles really involved. There should be no tension on the neck at all here. Hold your hands down. What you're going to find is your arms are going to want to drop. So I want you to try and isolate that arm movement. Is come up and lean into the toe if you feel you can lift off. Don't worry if you can't, this is quite challenging. Big deep breath in. Lift the hands up, straighten the legs. Just come down very gently. Find your place that you want to put the hands. Just let the head drop. Now all of us are going to crack the front knee, walk the hands forward, lift the back foot off the ground. Hips level from the mat. You're not opening up the hips. Your hips are level. Squeeze your bum muscle to hold yourself here. Hold yourself up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathing. Going to bend a little dip over, so take it across the side of the body, just into the other side, and back up. Big squeeze. Exhale, place your foot down, place your knee down. So that's what we added in. So we're not just going straight up, we're going into this balance and then into this one here. We're going to inhale, take your knees, you can get a bit more of a hip flexor move here. We're going to inhale, come up, retain, and then exhale. Bring your elbows now together in front of your body. Inhale, open, exhale. Last time, inhale, retain, exhale. Inhale, take your hands up. This is the scary part. We're going to lift your knee back off into warrior one. Push through. Come back. And release. Let your hips move. Take your hands up. And down into your horse. In the rest of the breath, take your bum out behind you. Drop your hands down, straighten your legs into a forward. Take your hands behind, clasp them together. Let's do what we feel comfortable. You may feel you can even take them a little bit further over your head because we've increased that shoulder movement. Don't feel you can. And keep the hands apart, remember. Let the head fall forward. Breathing deeply. Breath go, let the hands get heavier. One more time. Exhale, bring the hands back down and drop them towards the ground and take your weight over to one side. Nice wide stance, what we want. Inhale, we're going to come up nice and tall. And we're going to turn into our warrior two. Warrior one, not warrior two. We're going to just lift toes off and sink down. If you feel you can go that bit further, if not, don't worry. And for those that can, remember what we did before. We took the hands behind, we lifted, and we can feel this tricep muscle really engaged. No tension, still long necks. We're going to hold it here and lean into that nice toe. Keep it there, keep it still, breathe in. Draw those shoulder blades together. You've got a nice piece of fruit between apple or orange, whichever you want. Maybe a grape is all you can manage, that's fine. Don't let them drop. I can see your arms dropping. Keep them up nice and high. Big deep breath in. Drop that foot down. Take your hands up, straighten your legs. Let's come forward. Drop your weight down, feel the stretch in the back of the knee. Big deep breath in, bend that knee. That's going to take my head out on the whistle, and then take your back foot up. Turn your hips to their level, so you're not opening up the hips, you're turning your hips to their level. Lift it nice and high, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That above muscle needs to be completely engaged. Doesn't matter if your front leg's slightly bent. That bum muscle at the back engaged. Big deep breath in. Let's take it all the way across. Think about your movement and how fluid you are, how agile you're being. Inhale, take that back up. Exhale, bend your front leg and place your back knee down. Pop your knee down, feel that hip flexor stretch. This time we're going to go in the opposite direction. So before we were going up, this time we're going around. So we're going to come up and bring your elbows in and release. Inhale back and release. Inhale back and release. Now you can put your hands down on the ground, or if you want to go that one step further, we're going to lift the hands up and we're going to push to warrior one. Back heel off the ground. Push to a straight leg. And let it go. And you'll be happy to know you're allowed to now bring your legs in. And if you've done it correctly, you'll feel that there's quite a lot of work happening around this area. So let's give them a shake. So let things move.